This is the story of three sibling entities: energy, frequency, vibration. Energy is responsible for gathering resources and the power needed for the whole thing, so it is called the gatherer. Frequency will be responsible for processing those resources through a series of repetition, and so it's called the repeater. It then goes to the third entity, vibration, responsible for condensing this processed resource and being able to deliver it through a technique they call resonance. This is to be delivered to the six senses or senses. As you are watching this right now, you are mostly familiar with the five major ones, but the sixth one is actually the one that you may want to pay attention to, because he's the one that has been manipulated a whole lot better. But we'll get back into that later, because I have to introduce to you two cousins that are the trainers of energy, frequency, and vibration, and these are quality and quantity. The two trainers have a specific way of coaching the three siblings. Quantity is excellent at training energy and frequency, and good at training vibration. Its main responsibility is to boost them up, so it is called the booster. On the other side, its cousin quality is called the refiner, because it's excellent at training vibration and frequency, and it's good at training energy. It is called the refiner because it helps all three of them to polish their work or improve their work. And if you notice what this means, it therefore means that frequency is the one that gets excellent training from both trainers. But that doesn't make him the strongest, the smartest, the whatever. They're all of the same importance or same strength and same value. But it surely makes frequency the one responsible to make the journey fun or horrible. And it also makes frequency the one responsible in helping better in something we call manifestation. But we're not here to talk about manifestation, because right now as you're watching this, and most likely in the future this will get worse, we have a big issue. Quality has been jailed, and I don't even know when it started exactly, but I know for sure this. It was done by an entity they call elite, who has tendency of feeding us with bunch of nonsensical informations, meant for people to pick one side but never unite them, just promoting division. It is said that all these TV programs has one CEO. It is the right hand of elite. It is called distraction. But like any entity, there needs to be a left side if there's a right side. And in the case of elite, his left hand side is even worse. It's this fancy entity they call mediocrity. Mediocrity is a chill entity. Mediocrity loves everyone, lazy and hard workers. Mediocrity doesn't care if someone is challenging themselves or not. No need to challenge yourself. I just love you as you are. And because mediocrity loves everyone, he's also called a people person and a pleaser. But sadly enough, to please more and more people, mediocrity was given a fancy gadget by his boss, Elite. This gadget is called App Maker. App Maker is let's say for the least, an interesting machine, because it's really good at creating a bunch of softwares. We call them apps. Strangely enough, they are mostly free in general. But at the end, App Maker is a design of Elite, and so these apps in reality were used as a form of currency. A currency to buy soul activities for shady and manipulative purposes. You call that data, right? But as time goes on, things get even worse, because today as you're watching this, and again like I said, in the future it will be worse. App Maker has a new golden currency that gives him the ability of buying a whole lot more source activities. It is called AI. And I'm glad as you're watching this, you exactly know what it is, and I'm glad I don't have to teach you anything about it. So let's get back to the three siblings and the two trainers. Now that quality has been replaced by mediocrity, you only have one true trainer and one imposter. And this changes a lot of things. Here's the bigger issue. When the three sibling entities are working under supervision of quality and a full sequence is achieved, and vibration releases the resonating processed power, it goes and hits a specific crystal in your body that will split that power into different fragments of resonance, each resonating fragment meant to feed one sensei or sense. Let's go through them quickly one by one because it's important. Let's start with vision. Under the supervision of quality, vision sees love, romance, comedy, life lessons, emotional enrichment, nature, unity, you name it. But now that it's under the influence of mediocrity, it's all about hatred, division, war, jealousy, anger, vulgarity, fake news, as a whole slop. And this is a very similar situation for the next sensei, hearing. Because under the supervision of quality, hearing is all about love, heartbreaks, hope, peace, movement, social injustice, unity, relatable content. Today, with mediocrity, no, it's all about drugs, sex, violence, hatred, division, made up realities, egocentrism, traffic noise, bunch of nonsense. But let's keep moving to the next one, the touch. And oh god, this one is even more sad because under the supervision of quality, touch is just all over the place, from touching leather to grass to dirt to soil to sand to compost and bunch of other things. But these days, no, under the supervision of mediocrity, it's sadly all over just one flat, boring texture they call a screen, or a keyboard to pretend you're doing better. But we have to move on. Let's go to the next sensei, smell. And this one, I'm quite unsure if I should say it's a better one compared to the previous because it's not. Under the supervision of quality, smell sensei is used to order some home-cooked meals, natural perfumes, baked goods, burning wood, fresh air. But under the supervision of mediocrity, you have stale offices, heated car seats, you have chemtrails, some dirty perfumes, and a whole lot worse. And we wonder why the rate of respiratory diseases and allergies are increasing around the world drastically. But that's our society these days. Let's move to the next two last ones. Number 5, the taste. This sensei got seriously affected because under the supervision of quality, it is used to whole grains, good fat, meat, veggies, fruit, legumes, whole food, what we call variety. But under the supervision of mediocrity, things are different. Sugar, fake sugar, refined sugar, weird sugar. And let's not forget about all the seed oils and all the ultra-processed food, which we all know that these are the major contributors to issues like coronary diseases, weight gain, and diabetes. But we seem to keep enjoying it. But let's go to the last one, the sensei that is the most manipulated, and that is very, very important, proprioception. Proprioception is called the coordinator. He's the one responsible to give you the ability to know your body positioning, movement, orientation in space. And when he's under the supervision of quality, you enjoy more exercises, you have a good balance, you are more aware of the surrounding, you even have better night vision, your adaptation is a whole lot faster. But under the supervision of mediocrity, you can develop overweight issues, joint issues, brain fog, burnout, clumsiness, you become more lethargic, lazy, or fatigued, and you become even more unmotivated. And now you understand why the replacement of quality by mediocrity is a real big issue. But like they say, to every problem there is a solution. And it happens that the solution for this one is you. You do have two special agents that you may not be aware of that can save this whole game. These two special agents are two entities, attention and intention. You see, when vibration is resonating that power for it to go hit the amplification crystal, attention has a sharp eye, so sharp that it's capable of detecting how pure and worthy those fragments are to each sensei. And intention has all the power to be able to adjust the purity and the worthiness of those fragments. And you are responsible for taking care of those two, but you should be careful, because attention has a sharp eye, so sharp that his eyes are everywhere, and distraction loves that. And even though attention can never be jailed because it's your protege, it can still be corrupted. And if it's corrupted, intention won't be able to be the most efficient, so take off attention. I hope it makes sense. So, that's it. If you are still here, thank you for watching, and here is a parting gift just for you.